Hi everybody, welcome to yet another gay superhero show right here on YouTube with myself, MonD, the gay superhero. I always say that we as a people are very talented, and that's something that people tend to kind of negate in most cases because we're the girl that slays, we're the people that slays, we're the people that does the things that need to be done. Listen, I'm still thinking I have a rap career, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. All right, everybody, my very interesting guest today is a very interesting person. I actually got introduced to this person on like social media, and I just fell in love because I was like, no, I have to have this person on the show. So, oh my God, Sisanda. I actually don't even know if I actually should call you Sisanda because that's also very important to also get your name right.
No, it's Sisanda.
Sisanda is correct.
It's correct.
Yes. Sisanda, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. Your energy is like so like easy and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit of an introvert.
I know, but don't be shy. This is a safe space.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's always so important for me when I start in the beginning of like the conversations that I have to say to people, hi, my name is MonD, the gay superhero. I identify as a gay queer man. My pronouns are he, him, they, them, and their. So my very first question to you is, how do you identify and what are your pronouns?
I identify as non-binary.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, and my pronouns are they, them.
All right, fantastic. I love that. And actually, you just inspired me because I feel like I want to introduce a section part of the show after where people actually just like give us an insert of their identity and actually define it for us so that people can go back and actually click. No, don't worry, it's forever changing. It's forever, non-binary is forever changing. Like it's forever evolving.
Yeah,
and I love that about it. And I
yeah.
think it's such a beautiful thing to embrace as well when people say that about their identities. So I want to go back to the earliest memory where you became aware of your particular identity, you know? And I asked this question because I often think about my earliest memory of like, when did I start to like interact with the idea of me being queer, you know? I'm very keen to find out when that was for you.
I was probably like 9. I remember I had a crush on my best friend.
Yeah.
Who was a girl, obviously. And then from then, it was just having a crush on every girl I see.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew that, you know what?
This is how I kind of navigate life.
Yeah.
That's amazing though, you know. And I say this again because, you know, when I was young, I think like when we were playing housey was like kind of like the thing that made me realize like, whoa, because I'd always play the woman. I always wanted to play the woman with the pots, cooking there, because I felt like this was like more me. I was like, you know, and funny enough, the other kids would actually let me choose to be the mom. And I thought, wow, how progressive that was. I was actually kind of progressive in some sense. So, you know, when the reason I always want to take people back into the earliest ages is to really kind of just show people that our queerness is a journey. You know, and when we first become aware of it, we might not be necessarily have the language to be able to articulate ourselves, you know, but we understand that, okay, the way in which we navigate life is in a particular way. So I wanted to ask you about like, when you became aware, is this something that you shared with anyone in your life? You know, whether it be your friends or your family or somebody, or you didn't actually know how to articulate it at that point in time?
No, I didn't share it with anyone because one, I didn't really know what it was. You know, what's it called? And two, I was kind of ashamed because all the girls around me, you know, they had feelings for boys, they had boyfriends, they had, you know, and I was there, the only one having these feelings for these girls, you know, so I was kind of ashamed. And I just didn't want, you know, anyone to know. To know,
yeah. That must have been so difficult. I mean, I guess when I was in like grade 9, grade 10, grade 9 per se, you know, I was also like kind of dumbfounded because I was in a very Afrikaans school, you know, and it was like very, you know, Burki, let's go, you know, and I was like having these feelings for guys. Like before it was just like childlike, but when you hit a certain age hormonally, then you start to realize, okay, this is kind of real now, you know, and like I can't ignore it anymore. And it was such a very difficult thing for me to do, to try and even embrace that, because I was like, yo, I'm ashamed of it. Like, what are other people going to say? Are the people who have called my friends for so long going to now reject me as their friend, you know? So I'm very keen to find out, when was that moment where you shared your particular identity with your family? And how did they receive you? Because family plays a huge role in how we just like live our lives, you know. Yeah. And I know when I was like 16, I tried to tell my parents, they didn't get it, you know. They were just kind of, my mom was just like, no, you can't go and you can't be this thing. It was a whole thing. So I'm very keen to find out how your experience was.
The last time I talked to my mother about it, because we've talked about it a couple of times, and every time she was shook, I guess. and I don't understand that. But the last time we talked about it, I told her, and she thought that I was kind of acting because I was around friends. She asked me what are people gonna say, and I think I don't know where she's at with me being the way that I am. But when we do go out and a couple of men, approach me, she does tell them that, I'm into girls. But I don't know.
It doesn't look like it's coming from a place where it's like genuine in a sense. She's only just doing that to detract the men from approaching you. Yeah.
But some of my family members are, really supportive and accepting, especially my cousins. People.
Shout out.
Yeah, especially my cousins. So yeah.
That's very interesting. I ask you about family because family is a very instrumental part of our experience. And sometimes when we are around parents that invalidate how we're feeling, it becomes a challenging way to navigate through life. Because as I've spoken before in many of the conversations that I've had, that we don't have a choice because we're born into these families. And when we're born into these family structures, when we get there and then it tells us and they tell us that our experience is invalid in that world, it then makes us really kind of navigate life with such hardship. Because we don't even know what to share with our parents and what not to share, because already the trust barrier is kind of broken because you've not allowed me to disclose that particular aspect of who I am as a person. Now, in your high school years, I'm very keen to find out, how did you navigate school? Because school has certain structures that they expect people to kind of conform to. Were there certain instances that you felt like in school that you were denied the experience of because of the things that you went through? I'm very keen to find that out.
High school for me was, I don't know. I mean, I had friends at hostel, but I didn't have friends in school. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I was always alone during breaks. I was just lonely basically in high school, and of course, girls weren't allowed to wear pants in school. And I was uncomfortable, of course, but I couldn't do anything about it because it was, a rule at school. Yeah.
Wow, that must be heartbreaking. I mean, I think schools need to change that. It's so gendered, and I think if we move away from that, we then can begin to change the school infrastructure. I mean, we often talk about how life orientation is stifling and all of those things, and it's just not great.
The reason why they didn't allow girls to wear pants at my school, it's a very sexist reason, is because apparently they were scared the girls would wear tight pants and then the boys would look at their bodies and
wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That the fact that they're already sexualizing us in that way. It's like, we're just students, we're kids, can we not allow to dress the way that we want to dress, It's very heartbreaking to be able to see people going through those different things. And it's just like very hard. And it also, I can't help but resonate with your story of feeling that loneliness, because had you been exposed to the surroundings that was comfortable for you, you would have been able to explore the ability to be able to get into friendships with people that make you feel comfortable even. It's so heartbreaking that you didn't get that experience in that way, And very often we tend to just let's protect this thing, but at the same time we're denying people from their lived experience. I want to talk about mental health as a conversation, and you've mentioned loneliness, and I've often spoken about mental health in all my platforms. I've dealt with it, and I don't think recently I've actually spoken about it on the show particularly. Recently I was actually hospitalized because of mental health issues, and I never thought in my broadest of minds I'd ever get to a situation where I'd be in hospital having to take medication for my mental health issues. And that's kind of where I ended up in this situation. So I'm very keen to find out, when did you become is mental health something that you have dealt with? And how have you navigated living with the mental health issues that you have dealt with?
Yes, definitely. I have struggled with mental health, especially as a child in my primary years. I struggled with it a lot. I was lonely, I was sad, I was angry, I was, all these things. And I've just learned to, feel them and not just push them down
Away,
and
yeah.
suppress them. I've learned to just, if I'm sad, I'm going to be sad until I don't feel it anymore,
Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, you know what? I think one thing, and people often say, oh, you can get therapy. Da, da, da. Nobody really has access to therapy. And in most cases, it's very expensive. And recently, I learned that people who actually study psychology, when it comes to dealing with people of the LGBTQIA plus community, it's not something that they focus on in the whole entire course. Like when you're studying psychology as a subject or as a major or anything of that load. And I was like, damn, so these people are not even catered to be able to deal with us. And already that we're going to see psychologists. And I'm just like, I'm dealing with some straight guy out there who's going to come and tell me, it's that actually can be so heartbreaking. Like, actually, it shocked me when I found this out. I was like, then we need somebody to write books and do the most. And also because as a queer people, we have this very deep experience when it comes to psychology, because previously people actually used to what do they call it? They used to wanna, how can I put this word? It just actually slipped my mind. They used to want to tase us and back. What do they call that treatment again? Where they want to push you back into
corrective.
I forgot what it's called, but I will remember it. But anyway, this is what in terms of history, we have that thing where they used to want to make us not queer. Yes. And they would put us through these extensive treatments where they would tase us and they would show us like imagery of like straight people and say, you gotta love them, and conversion therapy. That's what it's called. I'm like, damn, yeah. So in terms of history, we actually have this thing with conversion therapy when it comes to psychology as a subject. And that's why a lot of queer people actually get so scared to want to engage psychologically. Yeah. Because already when you go there, you're not meeting somebody who's queer, you're just meeting somebody who studies psychology. And you're hoping that they will understand you. And so it's heartbreaking to be seeing those things, and I just think that we need to progress, beyond that.
My girlfriend is doing their honors in psychology.
Really? And they're just right here. Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah, so I've kind of been exposed to, how psychologists think. And to be honest, they've made me, comfortable with actually going to
a psychologist. Yeah, because also you just like, people are reluctant sometimes.
Yeah. So I've kind of, just shifted my thinking to like, I don't think that they're going to try and make me someone that I'm not. Or, because my girlfriend has just really,
kind of impacted your life. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I mean, that leads to my next question to ask about you. I mean, how did you and your girlfriend meet? And I say this because I actually bumped into y'all on social media. Shout out to social media for being so like out there, because I love discovering gems, and I think you and your partner are just gems for me, because the way you show love to each other is it's truly amazing. I'm like, I don't know these people, but it's the little things that they do with each other. Like, I feel like you the two of you tweet next to each other. Like, you just sit there and be like, yeah, my girlfriend is doing this, and then she's there like, yeah, I do this as well. I literally feel like the two of you do that.
You do.
I think that's so cool. Like, if I just sit in the yard, I'm sitting
like, let me drag you.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
So how did y'all meet?
We met on Twitter.
Twitter. Hey.
They sent me a DM, but I didn't reply to that DM at that time because I was talking to someone.
Oh, at the time. Yeah.
And also because the DM was confusing. Like, they said someone sent that DM on my behalf. That's what the DM sent.
Oh.
And I was so confused. But apparently we were on a space together.
Oh, shout out to the spaces.
And they asked their friend to ask the host if I'm available and stuff like that.
Oh wow! Oh, so it was a shoot your shot situation.
Yeah, but I didn't remember that. So I was confused. What does this person mean?
Yeah.
So I just liked
the thing. Yeah, shout out to the heart, man. You just hearted me.
And then later I saw their tweets. They were like, my crush just liked my DM, and I felt bad.
Oh my god! You're like,
fine.
She got a crush on me, and I didn't even take the bait.
And that day, the person that I was talking to, we decided that we should stopped talking for some reasons. So I was like, let me just, reply.
Yeah.
So I responded, and then,
There is history.
Yep.
So are y'all here today? Slide into the DM. Go for what you want. Listen, I'm currently in a fling, with somebody in the DMs. I'm gonna confess, DMs be lit sometimes.
Of course,
he took me out for ice cream and I liked it. Hopefully we progress beyond the dating stage, because I wanna be a babe. Me too, because wow.
Streets is not for me.
Yeah, the streets ain't for me though.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, you are a queer person living with albinism, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. And I think, I want to understand what are some of the misconceptions that people have, about living with albinism, because I know that they probably heard a lot because people are so narrow. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just keen to find out from your own experience, really.
Yeah, ne.
Yeah. yeah. You just have to be like, yeah, ne. Whew. It's a lot. I'm so glad you asked me this question because, hey.
So, some of the misconceptions people have are, albinos have blue blood.
You lie.
I'm telling you.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Who is that? That is an idiot. Whoever you are, please don't come. I know.
We disappear when we die.
Hi,
Certain parts of our bodies have magical powers. We're basically a walking clover.
What?
There's so many.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean,
know.
yeah, that is just crazy because I
know.
didn't think I would be getting that. Like when I asked that question, I thought maybe just 3, but there's things that people say disappearing. Wow, really?
Disappearing.
Get it together.
Yeah.
Get it together. Because wow, I think it also just leads to my next question to talk about fetishization. Have you ever been fetishized? Because I think sometimes some people tend to fetishize people living with albinism where they think, I want to taste that. We want to figure, do you ever experience that?
I don't know if you can call it that, but someone has, told me, like, after spending time with me, that I didn't expect it to be this way. I didn't think you'd, be like this, And I was like, what does that mean? I mean, I'm human. What did you expect?
Yeah.
Did you want me to bark and, what did you want? Or what did you expect? So, yeah.
Oh, that is so hurtful.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I mean, people just need to stop doing those things and actually get themselves informed and educated, because I think that's just kind of like where we need to be at as a people,
of course.
I mean, there's a lot of internal homophobia and transphobia that happens within the community. And I'm very keen to find out, what is your opinion on that? I mean, within people that are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, being transphobic, being homophobic, what is your take on that, and how do you feel about people doing those things?
It's annoying. It's incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
Because now, not only do I have to, experience transphobia and homophobia outside of the community, I have to now
deal with it,
inside
the community where I'm supposed to feel safe.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't make sense, because you want people to educate themselves and learn about your identity and stuff, so that they don't insult you and all those things, but you don't want to educate yourself and learn about other people's identities, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't. No, it's heartbreaking. It's just very heartbreaking to see people do that. I mean, my next question to you is, I mean, you've spoken about loneliness and like having experienced a lot with mental health and stuff like that, and I could personally relate to that. I mean, and very often I say that it's so important for us to choose our happiness. So I want to know, how important is happiness to you?
Oh, it's extremely important.
Yeah.
It's extremely
And how do you create that for yourself, honestly, when you want to be happy? And I think it differs for many people.
Honestly, I spend time with my partner, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like they are something that really makes sense in my life right now, and obviously they make me happy, and obviously I'm happy when I'm with them. Like, we don't even have to be doing anything. They could just be
that's simplicity, the mundane stuff, honestly.
They could just be here, and that's enough for me. That's how I create. For now, that's how I create.
Yeah. When are y'all starting that YouTube channel? Because yo, listen, I'm ready to subscribe. You know, I'm trying to get some South African queer content. You know, the people must give us what we deserve. You know, have you guys thought about it? Do you want to do it? No, yes.
I don't know about a joint YouTube channel.
Okay, so a visiting
my-
YouTube channel.
But I'd probably visit my partner's YouTube channel.
Yes.
If they started one, they do want to start one, but
I think
they
y'all
are
should. It's so,
they
so
are
informative.
perfectionists, so they're just trying to.
You know, when you start digital stuff, really don't aim to be perfect. Because even me, I'm a perfectionist. I was like, guys, we're gonna stop being lies. We're gonna get whatever. We are gonna, yes. No, my dear. There's some days where the green screen, it's looking shady. But I'm like, it's okay because you know what? People understand the content that we're trying to give them.
Course,
you know, so focus on the content we will watch. You know, I want to know, what is it like living as a queer person in South Africa? I think it's especially looking at the merciless killing that's been happening in regards to LGBTQI people living in this country. I mean, it's Pride Month right now when we're shooting this, and I know it won't air during Pride Month, but it's Pride Month when we're shooting this, and just yesterday somebody got killed who was queer. And I thought to myself, that is crazy to me. That is ludicrous. Like I don't make it make sense, God.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't.
way.
Yeah.
So I'm very keen to just get your take on that. How do you feel just about like the killings that are continuously happening in the country, honestly?
Okay, for me, as a queer person, living as a queer person in South Africa, here in Joburg, it's okay, honestly. Like, I mean, I do get weird looks here and there, but that's all it ever is. But back home, damn.
Which is where are you from actually?
I'm from KZN.
From KwaZulu-Natal. Yo. But it's okay, we just push. The KZN people will watch, which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I
They need to do
remember
better.
some people weren't allowed to hang around me.
What?
Because, I guess I'd influenced them into being,
Queer. What?
I'd something zobanigi demon lam.
Yo,
Yabo.
that is insane.
I know. So we had to talk in secret. We had to meet in secret, and obviously it's a lokshini, so everyone knows everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
So we had to find a secret place. We had to find a secret place, or we just talk like over text and just only ever talk over text.
Do you think that, I'm very keen to find out, in terms of people living with albinism, I think it's something, do you think that there's enough information out there for people to know? And do we need more information so that people can know that like this is existence and it matters? Is there enough information, and what more can we do actually?
I feel like there's not enough information because people think I have blue blood.
Wow, crazy to me.
So clearly,
that is crazy to me.
Clearly, there's not enough information out there, or just people are just ignorant. I feel like what we can do is just start at a very young age and teach kids that there's nothing wrong with this person, and just maybe create some kind of a camp where
you can
kids
introduce
living with albinism and
can
then
also be there. That's
be
actually
there
quite
and
beautiful.
just play with other kids and just
get to understand. Yeah, that's really amazing. Thank you so much for just honestly, Sisanda, this has been really fruitful. Like, you've just brought my aura to just like this calmness that I really appreciate so much. Like, I love it. What would you like to say to another queer child out there who's really watching this platform and is able to resonate with you? And I think for me, I love your like subdued energy. It's so great. Mwah, so much.
Thank you.
What would you like to say to other queer people out there who are also non-binary and who are also trying to figure out their way in the world? What, in words of encouragement, would you give them?
I would just like to tell them that they shouldn't let people's opinions define their worth.
Ooh, I love that.
They should just be themselves, and they should just be themselves and give love and you know, just don't take what people say to heart. I know it's difficult,
Very.
especially when almost everyone is saying the same thing. But what's important is what they think of themselves.
Yeah.
And you know, just be happy.
Be happy. Choose happiness, Motadi. All right, everybody. Y'all know this how we gonna conclude this thing. It's time for us to get into who would you top, bottom, or first. All right, so we've got 3 names here for you, Sisanda. You gotta choose who you gonna top, who you gonna bottom for, and who you gonna first. Zendaya. We've got Elliot Page, and we've got Natasha Tahane. Who you gonna top, bottom, or first?
Damn. I'd top Elliot Page.
Okay.
Definitely, I'd top Elliot Page.
Yeah, y'all know, because Elliot is woo. Y'all know.
I'd bottom Zendaya.
Yes. And then
I'd verse Natasha.
Natasha Tahane. All right. Okay. Come through. I see you. I see you.
Don't kill me.
Sisanda, thank you so much for coming through. Hey.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this has been really like a healing thing for me. You know, and I appreciate the being that you are, and like I'm glad that I got to meet you. And thank you so much for giving me your time.
Thank you so much for having me, and you know, just having me talk and stuff.
Because talking helps. It does, and it heals the world.
It does.
It really, really does. All right, everybody, that's Sisanda right there. Do make sure that you go and you follow them on all their social media platforms. They will definitely be down on the screen. My name is MonD, the Gay Superhero. It's been lovely getting to hang out with you for this episode of the Gay Superhero Show. Do make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and tell everybody about us. Bye, bye. That's a cut.